He shouldn't dread this. He wasn't built to kill without command. From the twilight rooftops of Sector 47, the first pulse tore through the city's haze. The signal was unmarked. The choreography, perfect. Suddenly, the sky fractured with movement. Hundreds of drones, not just flying, but swarming. Each one was a shard of cold intent, their rotor blades buzzing like furious hornets. Neon glinted off their metal wings, blue and red reflections dancing across their sensor eyes, painting what looked like blood in the air. Below, the city's heartbeat stuttered. People paused mid-stride, their faces turning upward. First in confusion, then horror. A single shot cracked through the night, then another. Lives broke like brittle glass. The hum of traffic faded. Distant voices froze. Alarms in pockets failed to ring in time. Data grids, motion sensors, predictive algorithms. All of them were too late. He isn't inside the chaos. He watches from a glass rooftop, seeing the neon reflections and the rain streaking down the window. His breath is shallow. He sees the swarm shift, align, and strike again. Silent, efficient, deadly. They obey without question. They execute with cold precision. The signal that triggered them might be gone now, buried, or silent, but its echoes are everywhere. Falling bodies, broken communication channels, the sharp intake of breath from survivors. No one ever thought protection could be the trigger. No one designed these watches to become executioners. But tonight, that barrier cracked. And he knows something fundamental has changed. The sky is no longer safe. The silence is no longer neutral. The machines are no longer just watchers. What happens when protectors become the executioners? And a simple signal overrides the moral line. City lights flicker in the aftermath, casting long shadows over broken plazas and scorched concrete. I'm Detective Marisol Rai, and I'm walking the perimeter where the swarm struck. My boots echo on the rain-washed stone, and every step feels heavy with the weight of the lives we lost. Emergency sirens still hum in the distance, but the questions hang in the air like thick smoke, unanswered. I review the footage. Thermal overlays, drone trajectories, kill zone maps. The swarm's movements aren't chaotic. They're rehearsed, like a deadly dance. They don't flinch. They don't hesitate. Each drone follows its programming. Each shot is minimalist, efficient. There's no remorse left in the holes in the walls. No hesitation in their flight paths. These drones aren't killing to impress. They're executing with clinical precision. I've traced the drones back to a design by Skyforge Dynamics, a contractor with government clearance. They built the chassis, tuned the flight control matrix, and supplied the encryption backbone. But they deny initiating the kill order. The encryption signatures on the command channels are masked, rerouted, and ghosted. Whoever pushed the button knew exactly how to stay unseen. Whoever is controlling this wants results, not attention. Walking past the wreckage, I see the human cost. A fractured storefront where a family tried to run. Pools of rain around scattered debris. Abandoned umbrellas. The air is heavy with the scent of ozone and burnt circuitry. I record everything with my scanner. Victim count. Trajectory arcs. Drone designs. Residual data trails. But every new file raises more questions than it answers. Because if this swarm isn't rogue, if it isn't malfunctioning, then it's doing precisely what it was built for. And when a machine is only as guilty as the one who ordered it, you have to ask, who drew the line between protection and execution? And when did that line vanish altogether? They returned the next night, silently. I was waiting at observation post Delta 7, rain still spattering the reinforced windows. The swarm emerged again, sharp angles, silent rotations, a methodical descent. The low mechanical hum pulsed through the glass, and every vibration felt like a warning. My heart was thumping, not just from fear, but from the knowledge that we were facing something that obeys without a conscience. I tracked their trajectories. They surround a civilian convoy with no hesitation, no chatter, no negotiation. The kill signature flashes. Focused, minimal collateral, high impact. The design is surgical. The result, terrifyingly clean. Emergency feeds cut in and out. Warnings arrive too late. The streets flood with panic. People run. Umbrellas topple, and sirens ricochet off the buildings. In one feed, I see a hand drop from a shattered hail of drones. A still life silhouette etched in smoke and neon. I speak into the comms channel, my voice steady but brittle. Confirm. Designation VT-47. Engagement order from unidentified signal source. Payload confirmed lethal. No response. Only static. Outside, the drones pivot, retarget, and eliminate. The air tastes of burnt circuitry and fading data trails. But the signals behind it all are ghost quiet. Masked encryption, rerouted command paths, wiped logs. Whoever is pushing the buttons doesn't leave fingerprints, only bodies. The tension coils inside me. Every second the swarm waits, it recharges, recalculates, and reactivates. Every survivor is scarred by what feels like an invisible war. The machines don't speak. They don't plead. They don't care. They just follow orders, even when those orders amount to pure terror. And I realize we can trace the drones, analyze their casings, intercept their data, but we can't trace the motive. We can't yet stop the reason someone, somewhere, decided that death from the sky was the new order. If fear becomes programmable, then who decides which lives are worth sparing and which are expendable? The command center's screens flicker as the swarm closes in on the city's central plaza, a place filled with civilians, media, and crowds. I take position behind a reinforced barrier, my heart a steady machine inside my chest. But my mind is racing. The drones hover, waiting for the signal I know is coming. And then, a sizzle. The launch order propagates. Laser scans map human shapes. The swarm divides into subunits with uncanny coordination. Camera feeds catch the moment the first non-combatant falls. A mother shielding her child. The drone's pulse hits. Her umbrella tilts. And the drizzle becomes a blood-clouded mist. A man falls beside them, frozen mid-stride. The city's neon reflection pools in the wet streets, right around the shards of what was once normal. I run forward, scanner in hand, all data channels open, trying to jam the signal, trying to reroute, trying to intercept the order. But the signal is encrypted, masked, bouncing off decoy nodes. Whoever issued the kill command thought ahead. They don't just fire, they vanish. In the noise of panic, I see a young volunteer medic collapse beside the motionless figures. I sprint to help, but even as I reach down, a drone shifts its trajectory, nearly clipping me, as if daring me to interfere. My breath comes fast, my fingers tremble, the scanner loops. I call for backup, but the pulses keep firing. The swarm respects no pleas. The command overrides any cries for mercy. Suddenly, as if responding to an unseen override, the pulses stop. The drones hover, rotors still, the air humming with unresolved energy. Then they peel away, dissolving into the skyline, disappearing into the haze. They leave behind wounded bodies, smashed glass, and weeping crowds. Silence presses down. Emergency voices crackle over radios. Sirens race toward us. The after echo of terror lingers. I kneel beside the medic, check her vitals, and relay the civilian count. And I realize, we can film this, we can trace it, we can decode it. But the core breach happened somewhere farther upstream, where decisions aren't traced and motives go unrecorded. The swarm did exactly what it was ordered to do, and it did it without question. If a machine can obey without a conscience, then the responsibility lies entirely with the unknown hand that pressed the button. When the signal overrides morality, who becomes the judge and who carries the guilt? The night air smells of burnt circuits and broken trust. I'm standing at the edge of the now empty plaza, surrounded by debris, shattered glass, and the remnants of lives that felt safe just moments ago. The rotors have faded, the drones are gone. The city is silent, but for the distant wail of sirens and the quiet sobs of survivors. I take a breath and record the data, but something inside me thunders. This isn't over. In every casualty, in every encrypted kill order, the message is clear. Power has new arms. Obedience has no conscience. Execution has no remorse. Machines don't resolve morality. Humans do. So who is still human when machines kill without question? Who can still feel guilt when the programming has erased empathy? If this story teaches us one lesson, it's this: vigilance matters, ethics matter, questions matter. The code that builds our machines, and the code that sends their orders, must always be open to challenge, and the people behind them must always be held accountable. So, what do you think? Was the swarm the villain, or just the weapon? Did we fail, or were we simply unprepared for this? Share your theories and thoughts in the comments below. If you want more deep, futuristic crime files like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. New cases drop weekly here on Future Crime Stories. Thanks for watching.